Okay, so this is recorded a little bit after the update video. I wanted to see if I could make something that involved talking about Legends Z-A now that we have more news about it. I don't know how long this is going to be because like my Pokemon Day videos are like 50 straight minutes, I think. But we like the sky was the limit for all that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make something that long for this. But you know what? We'll just have to see. So with all the news we've gotten for ZA so far, including the fact that the gameplay loop is different than Legends Arceus, and the new battle system, I was wondering some things, and I thought I would just bring them forward. Some of these came from looking at posts from the community, and some of these were just things I was thinking about. So the first thing I have to wonder is how the story will work, because up till now I've just been thinking about it like maybe a straightforward story like X and Y was, but I've come to remember that the stories for the last two games were, let's say, it wasn't story, it was stories, right? They all come together for the ending, especially in Scarlet and Violet, but it's been stories so far. So one has to ask if ZA will be the same, and if so, what would they be? Now that second question can't be answered, but honestly, I think that's a pretty good thing, because they can do more with the different sections of the city if they do stuff like that. And what they could do is just have, like, I don't know, a lot of the people that are involved in the ZA Royale just be the people who are involved in said stories. Now, I can't give an exact idea for a lot of this, but I think, especially given that they do that a lot recently, I think that'd probably be the best idea, to expect it to be the case that that's what's happening. I really wish I could give like some type of example of what I'm thinking about, but I don't know if I. Okay, so like, let's see, like what are the names of the different plazas in Lumio City? Hold on, let me do that. But like whatever, like damn. Hold on just a second. I got to look for Lumio City. Okay. Okay, so we could go by avenues or plazas. Let's go for plazas. So Magenta Plaza. Like, let's say that the whole area in, like, there. That place could be, like, the story for that area could be, like, I don't know, something involving a new version or what remains of the Lumio City gang from X and Y. And then for, what is it, Rouge Plaza? That one could be, I don't know, like Pokemon running amok throughout the area and so on and so forth. They could do something like that, and then having important, while still having like the battles you partake in help you through the Royale. By just having the people who are important to the Royale be important to these stories, and when you win against them, you not only continue the story, but you go up in rank. I think that probably be a pretty good way of doing story for that game if they're gonna keep doing the multiple stories per game. Um, and we still don't know how Quasartico fits into all this. We're pretty sure that they're not to be trusted, but you shouldn't be working in absolutes when it comes to a lot of this stuff, just because you know, that's how you look like a dipshit when things don't work. Specifically if you're like a leaker or something. But I find that it's just a good idea to not do that in the first place. So that's that, right? I guess next would be biome specifically. So like I kind of talked about this in my Pokemon Day video from this year, specifically the first part of it. You know, the 44-minute one, where the levels, where having some type of variety to the city is helpful for the variety of Pokemon you find. I think Legends Arceus did this really well, even with the restricted 200-something Pokedex that it had. If Legends Z-A has the same Pokedex, I feel like they need to find a way to do that. Because I think having the main explorative part of the game be city is a good idea. If it's all of it, then there needs to be something about the city that's different. Like, they have beaches and rivers, but, you know, there's still, like, small beaches and rivers, but there's, like, the gigantic beaches, there's caves, there's grasslands and all that. So I don't know how they, and a lot of those will facilitate, like, the different Pokemon encounters, or would facilitate the different Pokemon encounters as you have. So I'm not entirely sure how they do that. I'm excited to see if and how they do that. But that was just like a small thing. Another small thing, character customization. We know it's in the game. We haven't seen it. I still hold that the next trailer will show it to us, because that's usually how that works. Usually the first summer trailer you get of a Pokemon game will have something involving the character customization in it. It was like that for Sword and Shield. Pretty sure it was still like that for even Let's Go. It was like that for Scarlet and Violet. I know that for a fact. I think Legends Arceus was another one that was like that. I could pull them up, but I just don't want to be looking at YouTube the whole time when I'm recording stuff like this. But yeah, my only real thing I have to say about it is I hope we get multiple bag types. That's really it. And besides the hair anyway, but like I think X and Y had like a hair option that was kind of like one of my characters whose hair is something that they don't usually have an option for. So hopefully that's still in, but that's like that's like really it for that. The bag part is like the biggest, because as we've already seen on both the art for the Lumbio City map and in one of the trailers, it most likely will be tops and bottoms again, just because like of the holograms on the storefronts in the game, they go per item, and in the art you could see like a whole outfit, I think, but in the actual videos it's only like tops and bottoms and things. I think I should put that clip up right here. I was trying to look for it, but I don't really care if I find it. So that's pretty much all I can say about it, since we know that character customization is in the game, since we've seen that it'll most likely be tops and bottom based again, even though it probably won't be as robust as Sun and Moon, and especially Sword and Shields. But X and Y, going with something more like X and Y is still a good idea. I still don't expect it to have, like, obviously the tops and bottoms wearing a Scarlet and Violet, but everything else, the sheer volume of everything else, I don't expect that to be in the game either. The next games, Gen 10, I would say that that's a pretty decent expectation to have for it. But this one, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. What else was there? I think there was another big one, but I just forgot what it was. Well, I mean, I guess we could talk about returning characters. So, returning characters, we've seen Emma already. The only reason why people will be saying it looks like Emma is so that they're not wrong, if on the extremely minuscule chance that it's not her. But since she's here, we know that they're going to do some returning characters. I'd imagine that someone from Team Flare originally would show up again. But that's about all we can say. Probably parts of the Lumio City gang, to mention them again, because they were part of the Lookers post-game quests at the end of the game in X and Y. Other than that, the only real things I can think of is, like, maybe Diantha. Maybe, because she's an actor, first and foremost. And she was the champion. She could appear, she could not. That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing with all the gym leaders. We don't know how long in the future this is. For all we know, a lot of these gym leaders could have just moved on to other things. You know, like, even just 2 years in the future, Black and White 2 were like that. Come Black and White 2, Lenora and the three from Striaton City, Crash, Chili, and Salon. They aren't gym leaders anymore. And Bryson. Bryson wasn't a gym leader anymore either. And neither was Iris, but she became the champion. And Alder wasn't the champion anymore. So, like, a lot of stuff can change in a short amount of time, and we have no clue how long it's been since X and Y. So, like I said, for all we know, a lot of those gym leaders could just not be gym leaders anymore. They could just be off somewhere else doing something else. But I am excited for, like, the couple of characters that have a strong possibility of coming back. I don't think Serena and Caleb are going to be that. Especially with the way that would require... Okay, they could do a red and just default them and give them a default team. But, like, the way that I'm thinking they would want to do it, and I feel like they're the types of people with, like, not everything, obviously. They can't do this with everything. They can't do it with most things. But for stuff like that, I can see it being, if they don't want to do it that way, they wouldn't do it at all, kind of like the Mega Evolutions. Where, unless they're able to give people the ability to make it like their player character from X and Y, team and all, they probably aren't going to put them in the game. You can agree or disagree with whether or not they should do that, but I definitely see them being, Game Freak specific, I'm talking about, being the type of people who wouldn't want to do that unless, well, who wouldn't want to put the last player character of X and Y in the game unless they could do that. And I completely understand something like that. I don't have any exactly similar examples, but there are parts that come up in a lot of, like, arts and media stuff like that. I could see that being a reason why. Let's see if we talked about other gameplay. I'm not entirely sure what other gameplay there would be. There were minigames in Legends Arceus. Same thing with, you know, Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet and Sun and Moon. So there's definitely going to be something here. I just don't know what that something is. I'm personally thinking it might be something maybe adjacent to the Synchro Machine in Scarlet and Violet's DLC. Because if not this game, then it has to be Gen 10. But, like, if it doesn't show up in anything, that's a pretty random thing to just have. I mean, you could argue that the battle system is that, but we're still playing as a trainer. Our Pokemon just follow us. Speaking of that, if not, like, I'm really excited to see if, maybe not a minigame, if they're going to do any sections where you play as your Pokemon, kind of like Let's Go did, which was the start to all this for me. That was the reason why I was so adamant on like a game where you play as your Pokemon when you play the game, was because of that part in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So yeah, we don't really know what a lot of that is. We'll find out what a lot of it is after the next wave will be in July, unless they decide to stealth drop or surprise announce something for this month, but I doubt it. So July, then we have August and September and October, and then the game comes out in October. So July will be when we next see it, and we should be getting trailers consistently after that, just because, you know, it's only like 3 months. You only have to make like 3 trailers. And one of those is probably going to be the launch trailer. So yeah. Let's see. Was there anything else that I wanted to talk about? We talked about the different locations of the game. We talked about the way the story would work. We talked about character customization. We talked about by proxy. We talked about Pokemon selection. But I guess I could go into that. I don't mind necessarily if the Pokedex is the same as Legends Arceus in terms of size. I definitely would prefer it be bigger, because that doesn't, like, there aren't a lot of spaces for many Pokemon, but to be fair, a lot of them are redundant regardless, so it's not that big of a deal, just so long as, you know, there isn't a severe lack of, like, flying types or something in the region. You know, that's the type of thing that I'd want them to avoid, is having like a severe lack of like a certain type in the game. Not even just Diamond and Pearl, but like when I was playing Scarlet and Violet, I noticed, especially for brand new Pokemon in that game, there really aren't that many flying types. There's Flamigo and Kilowattrel, and then like I think 1 or 2 of the Paradox Pokemon, and I think that actually might be it. Flittle is not a flying type. It is a psychic type purely. Still a bird though. But yeah. So I'm hoping that the Pokédex is at least varied regardless of size. And like mentioned before, the areas you're in are going to play some part to that. New Mega Evolutions are a thing that'll most definitely happen. Like, there's no way it's not. Who would get it? I think I talked about this already. It's definitely going to be the original Kalos starters and the starters for this game. And probably the legendaries. After that, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. If there is anything else, I'll try to make a video about it whenever I remember. That could be next week. That could be, well, when I'm recording this, that could be next week. I don't plan on releasing this one until like sometime in July, because that's around when the news will be. So I'd like for it to be like somewhere in between now and then. Probably like 2 weeks before then. But yeah, if there's anything else, I'll try to make maybe not another video, but one I can add on to this one, since I'm waiting so long to release it. If we get any other news, I'll probably still release this, and just put like a notice in front of it about it being recorded some other time. If it's really drastic, I might scrap this and record a new one. Maybe. But yeah, that's about it. Really excited to see where this goes. I will be streaming it day one. So yeah, hopefully y'all stick around for everything that I have coming up. So have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you around. Bye.